Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of Telemazing. Today I'm going to be talking about the 3-view of the series of unfortunate events. Which, I'm sorry, this video is a series of unfortunate events. Anything that you watch right now is going to be dreadful and horrible and probably something that you do not wish to partake in. So I'm giving you the opportunity to change to another video so you don't have to revel in the misery and depth and horribleness that you would witness if you continue watching this. It's how Lemony Snicket pretty much begins every single episode of the series of unfortunate events, and it really gets you sucked in to how awesome this series is. The series of unfortunate events is actually a book series by Lemony Snicket that has been adapted for this Netflix series, following the Baudelaire family as they go from guardian to guardian after their parents unfortunately pass away in a fire. The first guardian is Count Olaf, whose only goal in life is to get the inheritance that's supposed to be guaranteed to Violet when she turns 18. The Baudelaire family bounces from guardian to guardian, only for Count Olaf to follow them and trick their surrounding friends and guardians to try to get that fortune. Usually for 3 views, I tend to kind of focus on the characters, because characters I think are the most important thing about a story. You can talk about the plot all you want, but if the characters suck, you're not going to enjoy it. It doesn't matter how good the plot's going to be. While a bad plot can be salvaged by a pretty good character. But in this instance, I'm going to focus on the plot a little bit more because I think it's more important to break down the difference between the viewers who are going to view this after reading the books and the viewer who has never read the books. The series premiere for me was dreadful. I don't think they knew exactly what type of show this was going to be yet. And so my advice to you is to push through that first episode, because every episode improves on itself. And that second episode, they finally get that tone right. They finally get that voice right. They finally kind of get the story moving, including the intercuts with Lemony Snicket talking about Beatrice, along with the show's asides with Snicket also on other things. And just like all those feels of how the book is read comes to life in this show. I have to give them credit. They really kind of found that tone very well. And so people who read the books are going to feel like they're reading the books again while watching this series. Now I'm going to talk about the people who have not read the series. This is going to be weird as hell to you. The intercuts with Lemony Snicket constantly interrupting, because on the side he always says, in this case, this word means blank, 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 blank. For the people who read the book, they understand it because that's the style of writing that Lemony Snicket did. But in a series, it doesn't translate as fun. It just translates as really annoying as like, hey, I'm watching the story. Why does this guy keep popping in explaining words that I already know what they mean? Also, the other reason is like the baby Sunny in the book is pretty much a comic relief type character. She uses her 2 buck teeth to kind of create anything, and it's fun, but when they do it in the series, you can tell it's CGI, and it's not even the greatest CGI, nor a little bit believable in the first place, and you kind of get pulled out of the series. And on top of all of those things, this is no spoiler because it's literally in the second episode, but the whole idea of why Count Olaf is seen as this horrible person is because eventually everybody realizes that he is trying to marry Violet so that way he can have the pretty much control of the inheritance. Like, you read the book and you understand everything. It makes sense. It's not that weird. But when you have never read the book before and you're watching the series for the first time, you're like, a legal guardian is trying to marry a 14-year-old. I'm out! So after watching 3 episodes, and actually, full disclosure, I've actually watched through 6 by the time of this video. I'm probably going to finish the series since I was a fan of the book and I do find myself enjoying it. I will say that I will recommend this show to people only who have read the books. The series does do the books well. It does it justice, and I have to give them credit for that. I will say for those who have not read the books, I think you're going to struggle with it. And if you can get through those couple episodes and you still feel like you're on board, then fantastic, and that's great. But I feel like a great majority of you will probably find yourself either lost or completely weirded out to a point where you probably don't want to do this anymore. I strongly recommend you read the book series in its completion first before you watch this series, because I do sincerely believe if you've never read the books, you're probably not going to like this show. So that's it. That's going to be my review of the series of unfortunate events. And so if you are new to Telemazing, we appreciate you guys checking us out. We have new videos every Tuesday, every Thursday, starting on February 14th. Until then, we're going to have videos coming out sporadically until we start our 4th season. But in the meantime, what is going on is our podcast. We have new podcasts every Monday, and that is going on. So make sure you subscribe to us or check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, wherever you find your podcast, we're there, and you just search for Telemazing. Otherwise than that, I'm Joseph Mwamba. Thank you again for checking us out. Now go watch some TV. I will say my only issue with the series, as far as somebody who did read the books, is that each book is 2 episodes. I think that's too long. I really feel like having 2 episodes for a book is way, like, there's so much boring stuff going on that happens that just, you feel like it's just filler. Like, it's not as much stuff happening. And so I will say that that does get annoying for me personally. Maybe if it doesn't for you, great. But if you are finding yourself like, okay, this is kind of just like slow, I felt that too, but it's worth it. Keep pushing yourself there.